Hi, welcome to What's Hot in Florida. I am Mike Sofka from both Mikes. What's Hot in Florida? Well, we feature remarkable people, unique places, and exciting events. And today with us is Brian Stanley, also known as UCF Superfan, Knight Fan Stan. How are you?
Greetings, Mike. How are you? Good to be here.
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks. Can you give me an idea behind the inspiration for the Superfan, the persona Knight Fan Stan?
Well, I've been asked many times, but it started back in, I want to say, 2008, 2009. The stadium where UCF Knights play currently is, it was Bright House Stadium at the time. And I kind of wanted to image myself off of Mr. Two Bits. If anyone's a Florida Gators fan out there, you're well aware of Mr. Two Bits. And started cheering in my section, but just knuckle bumping everyone, just, I can't remember the exact section I was. I think it was 228. But I was just getting that particular section riled up. And then I think it was 2008 where I wanted to take it to the next level. So I wanted to come up with a saying. And I knew that the Mr. Two Bits saying from the Florida Gators was 1 bit, 2 bits, 3 bits a dollar, all for the Gators, stand up and holla. And then obviously the swamp went wild. But I didn't want to copy that or even, so I was just off the cuff and I came up with a sign called "Every day is a great day to be a UCF Knight." So that was my signature saying, and I got a sign, and then the crowd went crazy, and I enjoyed it. I kind of focused at first on the student section, and just parlayed that, and just kept on popping up in certain sections and getting the crowd going. Then every season I would come up with a new slogan, and then I would have black and gold signs, and then I would do black, gold, and the student section would chant back and forth. It was quite something to see. So I didn't really think it would last this long, but it's just been taken off ever since.
Yeah, I can remember watching football in my living room on a Saturday, and then all of a sudden I see this Knight Fan Stan guy on a commercial as a super fan. I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah, that was funny because shortly after, in 2008-09, the UCF athletic department, they recommended me for the commercial. And CBS was doing a super fan commercial, so they had Georgia Bulldogs, they had a couple teams up north, a Penn State fan, and then they came into Florida, and UCF was one of because they were on that network, the CBS network, and then they did a commercial. I mean, I had to go out to the, what's now Spectrum Stadium, and do the deal. I think I was out there for about 9 hours for a 30-second commercial.
Wow.
And yeah, it was hot that day. And you can still see it on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and you search Knight Fan Stan, 3 words, you'll see my UCF YouTube videos up there, and that commercial's up there. That's one of them. But yeah, that was really the beginning. Because then, I mean, I would get calls from my cousins and who live in New Jersey and Connecticut, and they would say, "Oh my goodness, I was watching this game." It popped up on the screen. It was pretty rewarding.
Yeah, that was great stuff. And I bet you know somewhere where you can get a good deal on those signs that you hold up, right?
Absolutely, yes, because I own a printing and sign business in beautiful downtown Castleberry, Florida. Okay, they're really building it up there. But yeah, I've been in the printing business since 1974. So as a kid, I started working there with my dad. So.
Wow, that's awesome. And the name of the business is Jet Set Printing, right?
Correct, Jet Set Printing.
Okay.
And signs. And I'll give you a little plug. Our website, our URL is jetsetprintingorlando.com.
All right, and you handle just about everything, right? All types of commercial printing?
Commercial printing, paper printing, signs, step and repeat banners, retractable banners, trade show printing. And then on the paper side, we do business cards, booklets, folders, forms, labels. And then over the years, we've also gotten into LED signs, outdoor signs, and monument signs.
Wow, that's awesome stuff. How do you keep all that straight? I mean, you got the Night Fan Stand thing going on, and you got this business, and you just, I just can't believe how much you're doing. You're definitely in the public eye. I can remember listening to you on the radio too.
Yeah, don't forget, I also do eBay.
Oh, well,
yeah. So
when do you sleep?
Well, I don't watch much TV, honestly. My wife and kids, they're always watching movies, but I don't watch too much TV. I do watch sports, but I think I watched more TV and movies back when I was a kid. But I don't know. I just keep on rolling. I wake up very early, and I'm also a member of the Seminole County Chamber.
Wow.
So I do that, but I mean, it's doable. Football. People. I kind of parlayed the basketball. And I was going to do baseball, but, I found out that Mr. Tupitz from the Gators just did football, right?
Yeah.
And, football is doable because every game, whether it's college, NFL, or high school, is like an event, right? Because there's not too many games. But even basketball, I did cheer, and I still do from time to time for the UCF Knights basketball. But it's a challenge when you get, 19 to 40 games a season. You can't make every one, so that's kind of difficult. But football, I haven't missed a football game probably in about 20 years.
Wow.
A UCF home football game. Obviously, I've missed, away games.
Right.
The away games I go to, they play at USF or in Tampa, or I go to the bowl games when I can.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just goes to show your loyalty. And speaking of loyalty, you're loyal to a band that's very popular here in the South.
Oh, yes. It's called the Mike Band from Apopka, Florida. Have you heard of them? No, it's a band some people might have, even my mother has heard of them, Lynyrd Skynyrd Band. I'm a big Ronnie Van Zant fan. And I'm a big, one of my other nicknames is Skynyrd Stan. So
Nice.
I have a lot of nicknames. But yes, Lynyrd Skynyrd is definitely my number one fan. I enjoy Southern music the most, but I enjoy all types of rock and roll.
Right. Now you've had the experience in the radio business. You've had opportunity to meet some celebrities and music talent and so forth. I bet you have some wild stories.
Yes. Actually, but I met David Lee Roth from Van Halen, but just back up a little bit. Ronnie Van Zant, I've been to his grave about 40 times over the last 40 years. Yeah, he's out. They're buried in Orange Park, Florida.
Great.
And Riverside. So if anyone knows anything about Jacksonville, they're just off of 295 up there. So, I've been to a lot of the places where Lynyrd Skynyrd grew up, and where they play music, wrote music, and that's pretty amazing up there. So, but the story about David Lee Roth and Van Halen in the mid-90s, I had the opportunity to visit Napa Valley, San Francisco, Big Sur. I went to the Hearst Castle, and then we drove to L.A., from San Francisco. We flew into San Francisco and we made our way down. And then we flew back to Orlando out of L.A. But we were at a bar at the time called Lyle Alzado's Bar and Grill. He was a famous football player for the then Oakland Raiders. And we were partying inside this bar, and I was having a beer with Ed Begley Jr. and Howie Mandel.
Wow.
When he had hair. And this stretch limo pulls up, and about 10 lovely ladies get out at a time. And being back then, I was in my late 20s, my jaw just dropped. And then the final person to get out of the limo was David Lee Roth of Van Halen. So, being from the Altamont, Longwood, Apopka area, growing up, I was going to just go up to him and introduce myself and shake his hand. So tapped him on the shoulder at the bar. He turns around. I said, "Hey, Begley Roth, I'm a big fan. I'm Stan from Apopka, Florida." And I remember him going, "Nice to meet you, Stan." And, you know, I gave him the handshake, the manly handshake, and then he just stuck out his arm and his wrist and gave me one of those clammy, you know, that's all I remember from it. And it was I was a little taken back because I expected more of, like, you know, a manly handshake. And our conversation probably lasted about 40 seconds because he had bodyguards there. And too bad I didn't have a camera at the time, but
it was a little bit before cell phones and cameras on our hips.
Yes, it was. So I just kind of jumped back to my table.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's something else. Now, if people are interested in not only printing, but just keeping up with you, you're all over social media. How can people search you out?
You can find me on Twitter. Simply search Knight Fan Stan on Twitter. And I will, and I'm on Instagram. You hate to send a request on Instagram because on Instagram you get a little bit of sometimes graffiti and sales people.
Sure.
But on Instagram you could search Knight Fan Stan. And on LinkedIn, I'm also on LinkedIn as Knight Stan, and Facebook. So you could send me a friend's request there.
All right, awesome. Well, I really appreciate you spending time with you. You're definitely a remarkable person. Thanks for joining us, and I look forward to chatting with you again sometime in the future, okay?
Can I call you Cheap Trick Mike?
Yes, you can. You can call me Cheap Trick Mike. That's fine.
All right, surrender. Remember, Mommy's all right, Daddy's all right.
Yeah, they're just a little weird, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you.